gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is another edition of the Somebody Stop Me podcast with me. It's me, your host, Aaron Weber. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a while, huh? Did you miss me? It's been a couple weeks. You've been wondering what I've been up to? I'll tell you what I've been up to. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida this weekend, here with Henry Cho at the Jacksonville Comedy Zone. It's Saturday afternoon right now, and in a couple hours, I will be heading downstairs to the club to do the last two shows of the weekend. They've been great. They've been really great shows. You know, you're told as a comic that the late night Friday show is always going to be the worst. And in my experience, it is most of the time. I don't know what it is about that late Friday show, but I think it's people just have been at work all day and then they don't go home in between work and the show, so they just go and drink somewhere. So they're just like 4 hours of just drinking and they're just loaded. And I'll tell you what, we didn't have that problem last night. That was a solid show, top to bottom. Jacksonville, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but not exactly the ideal place to be recording a podcast right now. There's a light hum of the refrigerator unit in my room, and then there's been a car alarm going off for about the past 30 minutes right outside my room. So I figured now was the perfect time to turn on my microphone and record a podcast. Yesterday, here's what I did. I've been here all weekend. Here was my big excursion into the city. There's an Office Depot right across the street from the club, okay? Walking distance. Not many things are walking distance, in my opinion. Right across the street, like I can see the sign from my hotel room. That's walking distance, right? So I walk over there to get some batteries. That's all I need. I need some AA batteries for my Zoom recorder that I'm using right now. I go in, you know, I got time to kill, so I do a lap around the store. I sit in some of the chairs. I check out some of the, I don't know, like the notepads and stuff. Because whenever I'm in there, I convince myself that, oh, maybe one day you'll become one of these comics who will carry around a notepad and scribble down thoughts throughout the day. But I decided that I'm not. So I went up, I got my AA batteries. I gave them to the guy behind the register. And he says, "Can I get your phone number?" And I said, "Nah, I'm just going to pay in cash, man. I appreciate it." He goes, "Are you a rewards member?" And I said, "No, I'm just trying to get some batteries, dude." And he goes, "Do you want to sign up right now? It's quick." And I go, I appreciate it, man. I think I'm good." He goes, "You're just giving away free money, dude." And so I look at him, and we had this moment where we're just staring at each other. And I'm like, I really do appreciate what you're trying to do, but I just want to get these batteries. I'll just give you $6 in cash, and then I'll leave, and I'll never come back to Office Depot ever again. I'll never come back in the store. I've never been in here before, and I don't plan on coming back. And he was like really annoyed. Like, he was really trying to, I don't know if he gets some kind of commission for signing people up, but he was hell bent on getting me to sign up for that rewards program. So I left it never got heated, but it was definitely awkward, our interaction. So I left with my batteries, get to my car, realize, I got to my car. I did drive over there. It was walking distance, but I drove over there. I got my car and I drove right across the street where I could, I don't know. Hey, these roads can be dangerous. I don't like walking across roads when I don't have to, right? I get there. I realize my car keys are not on me. They're not in my pocket. They're not in my back pocket. They're not in my shoes. I don't know. I did a full body search. Keys aren't there. So I realize I've dropped my keys somewhere in that Office Depot. So I had to walk back in. I did a full lap around the store, tried to retrace my exact steps, couldn't find the keys. So I had to go back up to the guy back up to the guy at the counter. And I think he maybe thought I was coming back. I had changed my mind about signing up for the Office Depot rewards program. But I was like, hey, dude, I lost my keys. Can I leave my number? So if you guys find a pair of keys, then you can, give me a call. And he gave me this smirk like, yeah, okay. So I left my number. I walked out. I get to my car. And I'm just sitting in this hot car. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I got nothing else going on. I might as well go do another search. So I walked back in for a third time, did a whole lap, finally found my keys on the ground right underneath all the computer chairs. So that took about an hour and a half of my day. Was walking around that Office Depot. And the only employee in the place watching me walk around was the dude I just sparred with at the cash register. So that's what I've been doing. That's my big adventure here in Jacksonville, okay? It's been a pretty big couple days for me. Here at this hotel, got my pre-show ritual going on. My pre-show ritual is me steaming my shirts. I'm a steamer, okay? I don't iron. I've never been able to. You give my mom a shirt or a pair of pants, she can iron that in about 10 seconds, and it looks like it came straight from the dry cleaner. I can't do it. If I try to iron a shirt, I just leave weird creases everywhere. And I'm like, this is now worse than it was before. But I got this steamer a few months ago on Amazon for like $20. It's like magic, dude. You just run that thing up and down. Shirt comes out looking brand new. So I'm going to be doing that. But evidently they don't trust the patrons here at the Ramada Inn, because the hangers are like attached to the closet. You can't take the hanger out of the closet. They think I'm going to be stealing hangers, which I have done. I've stolen hangers from hotels before, but they don't trust me at all. So I'm trying to figure out how exactly to do that. I might just drape my shirt over. These are the big things I'm dealing with here. Just wondering how I can steam my shirt, because there's not a plug close enough to the closet where I can steam it while it's in there. Big things going on. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to sleep tonight, because my flight is at 6:55 a.m., so I'm probably going to drive my rental car back to the airport at like 5 or 5:30, and I have zero confidence in my ability to wake up on time. Like, I have no confidence. I know I'm going to sleep through my alarm, and I'll wake up at noon, and I'd miss my flight by 5 hours. So I might just pull an all-nighter and try to sleep on the plane a little bit. I don't fly for comedy very often, by the way. This is probably the second time I've flown to do a show. What a game changer that is. It was an hour-and-a-half flight. It would have taken me 9 hours to drive down here from Nashville. Hour and a half. And I was flying private, baby. No, it was Southwest. In Southwest, if you don't know, it is a free-for-all. You don't have assigned seats. Okay? It's like the first day of class. And if you're a big guy like me, your seat on the plane is tremendously important. Not only for your comfort and your enjoyment of the flight, but for everyone else on the plane, their enjoyment and their comfort. And there's an unspoken code among big guys on planes. I don't know if you narrow people out there know this, but if you're walking down the aisle and you see a row and there's just one big dude sitting against the window, if you're a big guy, you have a responsibility to take that aisle seat. So it's two big guys with an empty seat in the middle. And 9 times out of 10, that's going to be the last row that fills all the way up, right? Nobody wants to sit wedged between two big old dudes. So that's a nice little trick. If it's not a full flight, I can almost guarantee there'll be nobody sitting in the middle in my row. It's I feel like I'm the last guy who's amazed at how quick airline travel is. Because I'll get off the plane and I'll be like, can you guys believe that an hour and a half ago we were in a totally different state? Like, this is unbelievable. That's the closest thing we have to, like, teleportation, Especially if you sleep. If you sleep on the plane, which I can do, you're just suddenly in a different place. It really is amazing. I can't wait for self-driving cars. I can't wait for that, where I can just sit in there, take a nap, wake up in a different town, in a totally different place. They do, on Saturday afternoons here at the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville, they do a comic workshop at the club. There's the car alarms going off again. I don't know if y'all heard that, but that's the sounds of Jacksonville. If they ever made a CD that you could play with the sounds of the city, it would just be a car alarm, the occasional police siren. That's about it. They did this workshop, and it's all these local comics, some of whom are literally just starting out, some of whom have been on the open mic circuit and things for a while. So I was invited to come check it out, answer some questions at the end. It was a good time. They got nice guys here. Really nice people doing comedy here. Not many of them, I didn't get to see many of them perform or anything. It was just kind of like a powwow where we got together and chatted, and it was cool to be a part of that. We had something similar going at Zany's up in Nashville with Dusty Slay for a while, but I think that with Dusty's schedule, we didn't end up doing that long term. But I like that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not a replacement for an open mic, but it's a nice kind of supplement to it. You know what I mean? Well, I'll tell you what. I just looked down and saw how much time I'd done, and I'm very disappointed. Because if you would have asked me, I have a lot of pride in my internal clock. Like, you do comedy a lot, and you're rigidly timed every time you perform. I have an idea in my head, I've been talking for 5 minutes, I've been talking for 10 minutes. And if you would have asked me 30 seconds ago how long I've been talking, I would have said 45 minutes. Because boy, oh boy, did this feel like 45 minutes. And I looked down and saw the time. Wow. It's a rude awakening. I have a renewed respect for comedians like Bill Burr and Chris D'Elia that do this for hours upon hours, because this towel has been squeezed dry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just squeezing a dry towel right here. By the way, speaking of towels, I will say, I accidentally forgot to put my do not disturb sign on my door yesterday, and I never do that. Like, I don't want maids coming in and cleaning while I'm here. I don't need them snooping around, seeing all my trinkets, judging me by what's in the fridge. I don't need any of that. I will make my own bed. But I forgot to put the sign up, so I came back yesterday from Office Depot, and my room was completely clean. And I got to tell you, I really appreciate it. It made the rest of my day better. Man, just like a professionally made bed. I know how to make a bed, like in theory. But, I mean, I don't have the gentle touch that these professionals have. I mean, it's all tucked in nicely around the corners, which some people don't appreciate. I think it looks nice. I think it's worth it to have that great appearance there. You know what I mean? And I got clean towels. Clean towels, more shampoo. If you're like I used to be and you said, hey, I don't want maids coming in my hotel room while I'm there, change your mind. Here's what you do. You just lock up your valuables, take anything you're embarrassed about, tuck it away, and they'll come in and, inject some life into your room. Because even after, this is my third day in this room, and it would have been a complete mess by now if they hadn't come in and fixed it up. So shout out to, if I don't know, I got a pretty big fan base. If the maid at the Ramada Inn in Jacksonville is a listener, I got to give you a shout out, because you did a fantastic job. All right. This is a quick one, man. Maybe they're all going to be quick. Maybe I need to stop telling myself that I'm going to be pumping out hour-long episodes. Maybe this is what it is. It's just a check-in. If you're out there, somebody in my life, a family member, a concerned friend, if you're like, man, I hope he's doing okay. I haven't heard from him in a while. This is your opportunity to just check in. See what I'm up to, see where I'm at. And I'm doing fine. Okay? I'm doing well. I've got 2 hot episodes coming up that I'm still in the process of editing. The first is with my buddy Joe Kelly, who was in Nashville when I started out. Now he's in Atlanta. Super funny guy. Had a great conversation with him. And the second is John Christ. He came by the Somebody Stop Me studio and recorded about an hour-long conversation with me. So that was really great. I'm going to be putting that out pretty soon. And the Human Being Tour, by the way, 2.0, starts next week, next Thursday. We're going up to Ohio. The first show is going to be in Cleveland, Ohio, which is, I've never been there. It's the punchline of many jokes. I have one joke where I made fun of Cleveland, and I've heard it's actually a lot of fun. So I'm excited to be up there and see that city and do comedy in Ohio for the first time in my life, okay? So keep an eye on social media. I'm going to bring my podcast stuff with me on tour, so I'm sure there'll be a ton of episodes with me, the other comics, Dustin Nickerson, Mike Goodwin, and John whenever he wants to pop in. So exciting things coming up. Thank you to everybody who came out to a show this weekend in Jacksonville. I really did like it here. I didn't know Jacksonville was the biggest city in the state. Did you know that? It's a nice little bit of trivia. It's the biggest city in the state. And I didn't fact check that at all, but somebody told me that and I'm running with it. It's the biggest city in the state of Florida. When you think of Florida, you think of Miami, right? Maybe Tampa. Maybe Orlando. Nope, it's Jacksonville. Jacksonville is the largest city in the state, and I'm going to miss it. Thank you for your hospitality, okay? I'm going to close with a quick set from my buddy Brian Bates. This is one of my favorite jokes of his. I found a video of it on YouTube. I'm going to rip that audio without his consent and play it at the end of my podcast. Brian Bates is his name. Check him out. Very funny guy. Good friend of mine. And that's about it, okay? So, have a pleasant day. All right, you guys have a good one.
I got a buddy who's not too smart, and we were watching the news the other night, and they were talking about, some of you guys may have seen this, Elon Musk is sending 2 space tourists next year on a trip around the moon. And it said that each tourist is going to have to pay over $1 million to go. My buddy looks at me and said, I tell you what, man, if I'm going to pay $1 million to go around the moon, they better make sure it's a full moon. Slivers. That's not even the dumbest thing he said. He said, I'll tell you how they can save money. All right, go ahead. You go when the moon's not so high. Right now, the moon's pretty low in the sky. But sometimes it's much higher. You wait till it's back lower, you can save money on gas. He didn't say fuel, he said gas. I don't know if I was more upset with him with his dumb theory or myself because I couldn't prove it wrong.